This terrifying story was told to me by my classmate. The story is from her perspective. There was an abandoned building in our city. It was 5 stories tall, and the 6th floor was left unfinished. The building was supposed to be beautiful and large, but due to a construction error, it was abandoned and has been standing like that for about 20 years. I still don't know why they haven't demolished it. My parents don't tell me anything about it. Once my friend Lara and I went there, just out of curiosity. All sorts of school kids like to sneak in there, just like us. We were about 12 years old. The building itself was fine, but the drawings on the walls were unsettling. Graffiti with strange words and pictures of hanged people. And in one of the rooms we saw a dog's corpse. When we got to the 6th floor, we had a beautiful view of the park. It was awesome, for me at least. I wanted to stay, but Lara wanted to leave. But I suggested we play a game and leave right after. Of course, I picked a long game, hide and seek. I immediately ran to the 1st floor to hide, and of course saw a door and went in. On the way, I lost my phone. There was a staircase going down to the basement, or so I thought. But the place looked more like a shelter. All the walls were covered in red stains. It looked like paint. Definitely not blood, though this substance was already about 10 years old. Then again, it's possible that it wasn't paint at all. Then, in the very corner of the room, there was a small wooden table, and on the table was a packet of salt. I walked over and took a look. The salt was old, but I didn't pay as much attention to it as I did to my next find, a hairbrush. It was lying under the table. Definitely a child's hairbrush. I used a similar one when I was 8. I decided to brush my hair and saw an old, very dusty mirror hanging there. I looked at myself in it and started brushing my hair. Suddenly someone knocked on the door. I asked, "Who is it?" There was only silence in response. The knocking continued. It grew stronger and soon turned into the pounding of inhuman hands. I went up to the door and looked through the crack. It was a little girl, well-groomed, with beautiful eyes and long hair, about 8 or 9 years old. She said, "Give me some salt, please." I took some salt and passed it under the door. Then she said, "Give me a comb. My mom asked me to." I handed her the comb through the door. She asked, "Girl, who are you playing with?" I said I was playing with a friend. She asked, "Can I join you?" I agreed and let her in. She said she knew where to hide and ordered me to follow her. The girl went through some door and I followed her. It was dark in that room and I couldn't see anything. I tripped over something, started calling for the girl, but she never showed up. I crawled toward the door and heard some kind of whistling right by my ear. I looked, felt around in the emptiness. There was nothing there, but the whistling remained. Then I heard a horse neighing and the sound of hooves clattering behind the door. The horse was running away from me. Then the door finally opened and I ran out of the building. Lara was standing there, talking on the phone. She said that I had called her and asked her to come out. I told Lara everything and said that I hadn't called her and that I had lost my phone. However, Lara insisted that she definitely heard my voice. So ever since then, I've been afraid of that building. It's not just the building. I'm afraid to play hide and seek because now that game is associated with that terrible incident for me.